All right, everybody, welcome to the DOD-Cast. Today I have on Ale Passe.
Hello.
Bill Ricca native, UMass Lowell student, currently working 2 jobs, and her least favorite color butterfly is red. Now, first, before we start, I just want to say like, share, comment, do all the stuff that you're supposed to do, just to help my ego out a little bit, because it's slowly crippling. Otherwise, Alex, I have one question to ask you to get started. Are you ready?
All right.
What are your thoughts on the term genius? Do you know any geniuses in your life?
Genius is more like a creative term, I guess.
Okay, what do you mean?
I mean, it depends on the perspective of the situation, I guess.
So, can you name a genius, like any genius out there in the world?
I mean, anyone could just say Albert Einstein or
Okay.
someone very famous that way. But, I mean, a genius doesn't have to be a celebrity or someone who invented something necessarily, although they could be classified as that.
Right.
They could just be any regular person who comes up with a easier way or smarter way of doing something.
So you think of the term very casually in a way? Like, it's
Yeah.
I know, because the reason why I asked this question, it came up to me the other day. Someone asked me, not asked me, they were actually talking to me about, I think it was Kanye West. People call that guy a genius. I'm like, he's just an asshole. And then they said the same thing about a lot of these guys, like, and Elon Musk, like, yeah, the people could say he's a genius. He's just like a billionaire with like a lot of money and like so he's pretty smart, but he can just do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, kind of like Batman. If it weren't for his money, I don't think he'd have the gadgets he has.
Right, Batman's a genius, they say, but maybe he's just kind of an ass. So I feel like I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, all right, so is there really is genius a good term? I know when I think of genius, sometimes I'll think if someone finds a different way to do something that's right, like you said, a more efficient way to do something, person's a genius. I probably said you're a genius before. In a way, you kind of are with all the art you do.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're like a creative mind in that way. It's very
I wouldn't say it's
quick.
a genius, though. I mean, anyone can art. It's just practice.
That's true. So you do you know what I've been wanting to talk to you about that we really have never talked about? Your small business.
Yes. What about it?
Everything about it. I don't know anything. I think I followed you real quick, and then that was all I did for it, and I didn't ask you any more questions because I got distracted.
Where do you want me to start? The beginning?
Start with how you started it, and start with what it is first. What is it?
All right, it's just like a small jewelry business that I hope to one day build upon and incorporate my own art styles into it and create pins of my art or stickers of my art. Or even bigger things than that, like plushies or stuff. Who even knows?
Who knows?
Who knows where the road will take me? But as of right now, I just create jewelry, basically earrings more than anything. But I just create jewelry and things that are kind of not normal.
Right.
So I have ice cube earrings, I have French fry earrings, Kirby earrings, I have jelly beans, sour gummies, I have one of those water dispensers. Doesn't actually work, but it's a water dispenser. And M&Ms. I have M&Ms too. Yeah.
Was the Uno reverse card?
Those are one of them.
Those were yours?
Yep.
Those were pretty cool.
Thank you.
You should wear one on one ear and then wear the +4 on the other ear. That'd be pretty cool.
Or a wild card.
I'm a
wild card necklace or something.
That'd be sick. Be sick. See, so that's pretty cool. So have you done anything really for it? I know you have the Instagram account for it.
Yeah, I recently, not recently, a few weeks ago, I created a website on Squarespace. Shout out
Awesome.
Squarespace.
Yeah.
And I just basically built my own website. They gave me a template, and I just decorated as much as I wanted to. Very easy to do, but basically everything's on there. Just been trying to make reels for it, which is right now the biggest struggle to bring attention to your own page, because it's hard for a small business owner just because nobody really trusts you, which good reason. I get it, but there's a lot of scammers out there. But yeah, it's just trying to reel people in. And there's a lot of robots nowadays, and it's just impossible trying to have to fight with who's actually real followers versus who are AI.
Yeah, that's also true. And another thing is, it takes investment of like your time and your money.
Yeah.
Like you have
absolutely.
to pay to like for some services. Like if you wanted to sell, I'm sure for like an e-commerce market to sell these things online, you probably need to pay. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Especially Instagram, they do promotions all the time, but you do have to pay for them.
Do you pay for any of these things yet, or you
Not
kind
yet.
of want to work on your quality first? Once
Work
you feel
on
like you're in a
quality.
good place,
Yeah.
you'll put some money into it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
The only thing I pay for is for the website, but other than that, I kind of leave it as is.
Have you had anybody buy anything? Like a family?
One
maybe?
person, a family member, yeah.
Oh,
one person.
Who was it?
It was my dad.
Your dad. Oh, that's the sweetest thing in the world.
He's like, I wanted to be your first buyer.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's the cutest
Since then,
thing.
nobody else has bought. But I mean, I'm not really expecting anything. This is more like a project to see what develops into it.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
no
I made
major
a bunch of
complications.
hats for my podcast, like
Really?
probably a year ago now. Fuck, was that long?
With what?
It was called. I think it was called like the Hat Store. It was like this website. And I
Wow.
just made a bunch of black hats with like a brown patch on it. Just says DOD-Cast on it. It's pretty clean. Like they're not too like brand specific. They obviously have the name of it on
Yeah.
it, but it's not like the colors are very specific. It's very easy to wear. It kind of goes with everything type of vibe.
Where'd it go? What happened to it?
No, I made them and I sold a bunch of them.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, my
Congratulations.
goal was, thank you. My goal was to break even on it, and I think I ended up making a little bit, not much, little bit.
Okay.
So it pays like say like I make like $50 over. Pays for I put a couple ads out, like not ads but like the promotions on Instagram.
Yeah.
Put a couple of those out because I made it myself.
Of course.
So I think honestly a big part of it is just like really those first few launches. Once you really are like ready to do that, really capitalize on people doing you that initial favor. Because I feel like if I try to sell something else right now, people will be like, "Oh, I already bought his hat. Like I did him my favor," which they did. Thank you. But if you do that in the future, if you do that in the future, just your first like big like, boom, this is what I'm putting out there. Make sure people are aware of it and make sure you really get that out there. Invest in yourself.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's days where I am lazier and I don't decide to post reels, which affects the algorithm because Instagram's very like, you got to post every single day if you want to get out there. So my ADHD is like, nope, that's not happening. But I make the most of it. I mean, I've gotten to some of the videos like 7,000 views or like 300 likes, which is a big plus for me. And I'm already almost at 60 followers, so I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, just keep moving up slow.
Yeah.
You know what I think honestly some of the coolest things you do are not that though. Like the other stuff, like all the art you do. Your desk.
It's the goal eventually, because I mean I want people to fall in love with my art, but I don't want to just force my art on people.
Yeah, no.
So totally. I want to first show creative things, and then little by little I'll come up with stickers. I'll come up with prints or pins and all that stuff.
Because you can for real art. Like you can like legit art out here, which it's very impressive. Because I'm personally not a very artistic person. I'm a pretty creative person, but not a very artistic person. So to see someone be able to crank out the art you do and the amount of time you do, you'll be making these things in like 2 minutes. It's the most fascinating. It's just like, here you go. Here's a beautiful picture that I just drew for the first time ever now. It's like, it's amazing. It really is amazing. It's a really good talent you have. The bunnies are cool.
Thank you.
The bunnies are really cool. You know what you should really focus on?
What?
The bunnies are great. Everything's great. Another thing to look at is those the like mental disability pictures you have.
Yep, I do have a whole collection of those. I haven't done anything with them yet.
Those are like the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like it's perfect because I don't know where, but the problem is like where do you sell something like that?
Exactly.
Like a picture of ADHD. Like where do you sell that?
Yep.
You know, it's like I wish I could like as I'm talking about it, like maybe I could have you send me pictures.
Like just.
Now you just boom and then boom and then boom and then boom and then boom, boom, boom. A lot of editing. I don't know if I'm gonna want to do all of it, but maybe you could send. Do you have like a picture of all of them?
Yeah.
Like at once. Send me that.
Okay.
And then I can put it up here.
All right.
Right here. Put your hands on. There you go. Wonderful. There you go. All right. So you prepared questions for me.
I did. I do forget most of them, but
That's okay.
I wrote down the ones I do remember.
Is it 4? 5?
4, I guess, yeah.
All right, you know what? Start going now. This is unique. I've never had someone prepare questions.
Really? Oh, yay. All right, let's start with the basic ones.
Okay.
So, this is more in terms of, like, ADHD related, because you also have ADHD like
Pretty
me.
much, yes, yeah.
So, do you have any, like, other than, like, this, do you have any other hobbies? Like, do you have collections? Like, have you ever collected things before?
Of course. I collected Pokemon cards.
Okay.
Large majority of my childhood. I have more Pokemon cards than you could probably imagine. It's
Oh,
crazy.
I can imagine.
I have so many. Yeah, you probably get it. And so I have a bunch of Pokemon cards.
Yep.
I love basketball, like a fixate on basketball. I have like a whole playbook basically of like my own. I wanted to coach for a long time,
Really?
so I have like my whole playbook of like plays that I made, and like I went into like the science behind it and what does what the different terms are. I bought books for it.
Yeah.
All types of stuff. Sometimes it's just like that. I never really realized that that's what that was in me that made me want to do all that. Like you just get so obsessed with something. And you just go all in for whatever amount of time, and then sometimes you just burn out randomly.
Oh, yeah.
Overnight.
Sometimes you don't eat or decide to go to the bathroom because you're like, I have to do this, I have to finish this, or I have to, like, keep working on it.
Yeah, and I never knew what that was. Like, it's for sure ADHD. It's not even a question in my mind. Like, it needs to be. Especially after having people, like, you ever talk to somebody that's not like us?
Oh, yeah.
And then they're
totally
like, what
different.
are you talking about right now? And I'm like,
totally different.
It's like a different world they're living in. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you like? What's your thing right now? And they're like, what does that even mean?
It's
I'm
like,
no, like the
they
thing
have
that
they have a set schedule. My thing is driving off of chaos.
Yeah, it's just so much. I get like I overthink about it. I'm like, oh, this is everything right now,
Yeah.
and then like you burn out because you didn't pace yourself. Alex pace. Ale pase. Ale Juliet pase por tu mundo.
Oh, you got it! Everyone butchers my last name.
Por tu mundo?
Yeah, they don't know how to say
Portuendo.
it. I don't know why. Like, they say, like, portuendo, potondo. Like, I was like, just follow the pronunciation.
I think
Portuondo.
I think that's an easy-ish last name.
Yeah,
I
compared
gotcha.
to some other, like, German names out there or, like, Italian names that I've
Like
seen.
Unsen Feisen.
Something like that.
Like Unsen Feisen.
I don't know if that's a real
I
last
haven't
name.
met an
but
Unsen Feisen in a while, but if there is an Unsen Feisen out there,
shout out to you.
shout out Unsen Feisen. That sounds like a company that would compete with Heinz or something.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, can you pass me the Unsen Feisen ketchup right now? Okay. How about the ranch? Cool. Thank you.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
What about you though?
Oh
I know you
boy, I
absorb
have.
the art, but what else?
Well, hobbies, definitely drawing is the huge one. Like, I jump from, like, art project to art project. Like, I've learned how to sew, I've learned how to paint, I've learned how to create jewelry, how to do clay things, anything artistic-wise.
The clay. You're really good at the clay.
It's not as good as other people. Some people are amazing.
No, it's
but
just
I'm
you did
like,
it overnight.
basic
Like,
level.
you came back and you were like, I made this, and it's exactly what I drew. It's literally like
Happy
perfect.
birthday!
Hey Bella, happy birthday, Bella. Here's something very
Gifts
beautiful.
are so important to me. That's where I pour my soul into, like, my art and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what else though?
Well,
Anime?
other than art, I
Anime.
love...
Anime.
I do love anime, yes. I love tons of animes. My Hero, JoJo's, Bizarre Adventure, not the ponytail girl.
Okay.
Attack on Titan,
I've heard
Death
Attack on Titan's
Note,
good.
Dr. Stone, which might not be as familiar to some people out there, but really great show. It actually shows you, like, how... It's basically taken back in civilization, like, before that started. Like, people got stuck in time,
Right.
and, like, they froze for, like, centuries. And then no modern, like, technology worked anymore, so they had to
Really?
start creating it from scratch. It actually even shows you how to do, like, I think it's like a pipe bomb or something. And, like,
Really?
all of the ingredients, if you follow it in the steps, it works. So
Really?
yeah, it's
Little
pretty
dangerous.
crazy. Yeah, a little
Cool.
dangerous, but, I mean, there's obviously some materials you won't be able to find out there because they're, like, minerals and nonsense.
Right.
But other than anime, I definitely love singing.
Singing.
Yeah.
Alex, I've
For the
never heard-
longest time, I've always wanted to be a singer.
Oh.
I've created like 80 songs already, like throughout my whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
And I've never heard you sing.
I am very like shy. I have a thing where like I love creating songs, but I hate my voice. It's a weird
Okay.
contradiction. I hate hearing my voice, but I love creating.
Really?
So I have so many songs that I've just never done anything with them because I had never seen myself like as good enough as other artists or singers out there. So I'm like, it's just for me, I guess.
No.
I know everyone tells me the same thing, but it's just I don't know how to get over it.
You just gotta do it, I guess. I don't know. There's no way to get over it. I think you just gotta kind of just put it out there. It's not even. It's like because then it adds. You already don't like how it sounds, right? So like you're gonna deal with that regardless. Like, a lot of people don't like the way they sound, or like
Yeah.
I know comedians that don't watch their stand-up because they feel awkward watching themselves.
Mm-hmm.
People just don't like watching themselves. I don't watch a lot of my own podcasts. I already edit and record. I listen to it plenty. I don't need to. I don't need to go watch it after. I really don't. But if you're gonna put it out there, that kind of adds like another layer to like some of the enjoyment. Like when someone gets value out of the podcast, it's the coolest thing in the world. I talked about the Incredibles. I talked about the Incredibles in the podcast, and someone had never seen it.
Really?
It was like a friend of mine's boyfriend had never seen it, and they were watching my podcast because the friend had their friend on, and then they noticed, and then so now I got this kid, this boyfriend of this friend of a friend, that got to watch The Incredibles just because they watched the podcast. It's just like an interesting like connection. I think that stuff's so cool to me. So if someone, what if someone like really enjoyed your song and like really it like helped them through like a tough time, or they just really enjoyed it and they were able to dance to it, whatever. How nice would that be?
It would be really nice.
Like you're not gonna like your voice regardless. It's your own self. Everyone's so overly critical of themselves. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I bet like there's some incredibly talented people out there that think that they suck, but I think you're just better off putting it out there for our sake.
For your sake, yeah.
Yeah. What if I love it? What's my favorite music?
Who knows?
What kind of music do you make? Is it like
all styles? So I do a little
rap?
I've made a rap. I've made 2 raps before. Yeah.
You've made rap songs.
I've made rap songs.
Spanish.
Yes, I've done reggaetones.
Reggaetones.
Latina thing.
Latina thing. Is it hace? What would it be like? Hacer reggaetones?
No, in that case would be hago.
Hago.
That's like a more personal. Hacer is like they do.
Oh, really? I thought it was like hacer. When I was thinking like, I think like I made my bed this morning. Or I make my bed. How would you say that?
Yo hice mi cama.
Hice, motherfucker.
Hice is like past tense. Hago is like now.
Okay.
Present tense.
Cool.
Yeah. Present.
Yeah. It's present. I get it. No, it's knowing your own language is harder than you think.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was a kid that was really good in my Spanish class because he was Spanish speaking.
Mhm.
But so I asked him, I was like, yo, like, what's the rule for this? And I was asking him all these rules, and he's like, dude, I don't know, I just speak it well.
Exactly.
And I write it well, too. He's like, but I don't know what the rules are. He's like, and then I was like,
Me
well, why not?
either.
I was like, you speak it, you should know it. He's like, do you know all the rules to your language, or do you just start talking?
There's so many rules in
And
English.
I was like, oh, man.
Like, don't even get me started with the pronunciation to the names, which I am, like, famously known to mispronounce.
It'll happen. There's no way we get through a whole hour. There's no way we get
It'll
through an
happen
entire hour.
sometime.
It's Archives,
Archive,
Portsmouth,
Basil.
Basil. Oh, Jesus.
Instead of Basil.
You're like Basil.
Cambridge instead of Cambridge, which
Yeah.
still takes me off. But whatever, I'll let it slide. It's fine.
The Archives killed me. The Archives. Because I was like, anchovy. What's going on? You're like, but it's a ch. And I was like, but it's like not. Like, it's just funny, like, how you read. Have you only, like, read the word before? That must have been what happened. You must have never heard it before.
I just read words based off how they sound. So, like, in Spanish, the rule is, like, you just read every word on there.
Yep.
Yep. Like, for example, like, 1 in Spanish would be one. Because you pronounce every single, like, letter in there.
Yeah, like uno.
Uno. U-N-O. Uno.
U-N-O.
Yeah. Dos. D-O-S. Dos.
Is D?
Two.
De?
De.
De.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Simple language, really.
For the most part, yeah.
And they're pretty similar to the other ones too. Like if you're Italian, like
you can understand Spanish, or you can I can understand like most Portuguese.
Yeah, Portuguese for sure.
French, it's kind of like the cousin.
It goes like
there.
Spanish and Portuguese are over here.
Yeah.
Italy's
like in the middle,
and then a little farther than they are from them is
French.
French is pretty far removed.
I can read French. French is very similar to Spanish,
really?
But speaking it, I get lost.
The dialect is so different.
Yeah.
It's just not like, well, not. I don't know. It's just different. It's just not. Are they not like coastal?
I don't know.
Like, cause Italy is like the boot. Like Spain is like coastal.
I'm not really good with geography.
I wonder. I don't know if France. I don't think. I'm trying to think of like pictures of like France. I think of France in my head. I never think of water. You know. But I wouldn't think of that with Spain either. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that would affect the language. Maybe, though. People coming in and out.
I don't know. I feel like French is easier to understand reading it. But that's just me because I speak Spanish.
I've never read French.
Like when I went to Canada over the weekend, that was last weekend.
That was crazy. You just like went to Canada.
Great stuff. But like I was able to I was fully immersed in like the Quebec French culture. Barely anybody except my mom's friend who spoke Spanish really knew English or anything like that.
Right.
Unless you went to like Montreal, which is like a lot of immigrants are there, so obviously everyone has to speak English.
Yeah.
But we were in the parts of Quebec that really are just like rural, like residents live there, not many visitors.
Lifers,
Exactly, yeah, not a lot of tourists. There we go.
Yep.
So I just became used to French, like seeing French, hearing French all the time. Then when I got back to the United States, I couldn't read English words anymore. I would just like pronounce them with like a French accent.
Goes to France. Goes to Canada, not even France. Goes to Canada for 3 days.
I
forgot how to read English.
I couldn't say. I couldn't read it. I was like, what is that? No, even hearing it. I remember I was hanging out with my boyfriend the day after like I arrived.
Steve.
And Steve. Shout out to my boyfriend
Shout out
Steve.
Steve.
Steve the scoundrel. That's his Instagram name. He'll probably hate me for sure.
Will he watch this?
Who knows?
He better.
Yeah.
Better, Steve. Hey, Steve, if you watch this, text her. I'm a rogue agent. You have to text her those exact words. I'm a rogue agent. If you get that text, he's real good boyfriend.
All right,
Good boyfriend. If not, he's just a good boyfriend. But if he does,
really good. Yeah, okay.
He does really good.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so you got back. Steve was sounding French.
He was on. No. I could understand Steve, but like.
But everybody else.
He was on. No, so he was scrolling through TikTok. We were just watching TikToks together, and I swear to God, I couldn't understand it for like the first minute. I was like, "Huh, is that French?" He's like, "Re-listen to that."
She's like, "Oui, oui."
He's like, re-listen to that. And it was English. I don't know why. What happened? He made the exact same comment you did, though. He's like, 3 days in Canada, you speak French.
Good for you. Good for you. It's more common, I guess, for you. I guess it's closer to Spanish, so I guess maybe like you were really picking up on it. It wouldn't take you long to learn French.
No, I mean, once you're bilingual, I think you just handle languages very well.
Do. My friend speaks Arabic and English.
Wow.
And he never really was one to care about like school much, but he always got good grades in Spanish because the kids that know 2 languages, they can pick up on new ones because like you just are good at learning language. You know how these things work.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're pretty good. You should learn Spanish.
I'm alright, You
understand most of it.
I'm better than your average gringo.
Yes, way better.
Way better than your average gringo.
You pronounce things better, too.
Gringo.
Yeah.
Well, because I can do good accents.
Yeah, but there you go. That adds on to the experience of learning Spanish.
You. When I'm speaking Spanish, I just impersonate you.
I don't sound that Latino when I...
No, but it's when you say...
certain words. It's certain words.
Actually, you're like, I do not sound that Latina when I talk. I'm like, where is that coming from? It's funny. It's when you say Spanish words.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got for questions? That went down a crazy path.
Yeah, I didn't even talk about my collections, but it's fine. We can skip that.
What do you got for collections?
That's going to be another long route, but okay. I'll speed run it.
No, we take our time.
Okay.
It'll go fast, I promise.
I love watermelon things.
What?
just watermelon things, like anything decoration watermelon. You know how this is like a decoration of like a pineapple?
Oh, yeah, right.
But like
right,
watermelon.
Right.
So like I have watermelon pillows, watermelon stickers, watermelon sticky notes, watermelon tape dispenser, sharpener, bed sheets. The backpack, you can't see it's off screen, but it's also watermelon, pencil pouches, pouches, yeah, pencil pouches. Yep.
Keep going.
Yeah, everything watermelon basically I'm obsessed with. I think I have like an old picture where like basically my whole bed is just watermelon. It's crazy.
Watermelon.
Yeah, I loved watermelon.
Why?
So
Do you like watermelon?
I do, but I like the artificial a lot more. But I don't know. I just think it's really nice and pinky and cute, and it has green. I like green.
Watermelons look really cool.
Yeah.
They're cool as fuck. I like a nice little pink and green.
Thank you.
It's like Cosmo Wanda type vibes.
Yeah. So like whenever that TikTok trend came out, I was like, oh, I'm winning everyone.
Watermelons. Give me watermelons.
Cosmo Wanda everywhere.
You would
then,
have Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, go.
I also collect things. Jack Skellington, Nightmare Before Christmas. Obsessed.
Really? That makes sense. That makes sense.
How does that make sense?
It's a creative, weird movie. I think it's like it was definitely out of the box.
Yeah.
So I like. Do you like Coraline?
Love it. Love it.
Could have told you that. Yeah, it's just like the weird creative. It's very like artists appreciate it. I don't know why I started screaming.
Oh, because it's stop motion. It's stop motion. The art of stop motion is amazing. It's like moving it a millisecond and then taking a picture multiple times.
Yeah, like Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
Crazy
Classical. Love that movie too.
That stuff's funny as fuck.
So I collect those things, anything related to that. I also collect miniature things. I'm obsessed with like tiny little things. Like I'll have like tiny little stuffed animals or tiny spoons or tiny benches. I even have a small tiny like microwave at my office.
You do.
Yeah. I have a small office, and within my office, it's very small. You can maybe plop up some pictures. I don't know how that's going to work. But I love miniature things. I think they're just so cute. And they recently came out with, like, the world's smallest. There's, like, a brand called World's Smallest where they create the world's smallest things.
Just for you.
And, oh, my gosh, yeah, perfect. Like, I've been buying, like, the world's smallest, like, Hot Wheel cars. I also like Hot Wheel cars. That's another of my collections.
Really?
Yeah, Hot Wheel cars.
Do you know cars at all or not really?
I like cars, but, I mean, just Hot Wheels. I'd like Hot Wheels. I don't know. They were always super creative. My brothers do, but since I'm the only like sister, like I got more tied into like whatever my brother liked to play because I didn't really have a lot of like female companions.
Yeah,
my age.
Right.
Other than my friends, but it's not like I lived with them, so it's like
you live with your brothers. For sure. That makes
so like
sense.
I had a lot of influence. Like I do love Pokemon because of my brothers. I got very into like Digimon because of my brothers.
Digimon.
Yeah. Beyblade. Got into that because of my brothers.
Love Beyblade.
Let it rip. that's the quote.
Let it rip. Let it fly.
I know the whole theme song by heart. Anyways.
Oh, you should record a cover to that.
I'm okay. What was I saying about world stuff? Yeah, I bought the smallest stuff. So that's a whole collection. Then I collect beer cans. Not just any beer cans. Yeah, not just any beer cans, but more like small owner crafted beers because their designs on alcohol is amazing. I mean, obviously you want to reel people in and buy your alcohol.
Yep.
So they do that by the design. The designing team in alcohol is amazing. Like I could just be in an alcohol store forever and just look at the designs. I would buy things just for the designs. Like, have you ever seen Grey Goose?
Yeah.
How they have the like nice little duck and like the scenery in the background?
Yeah.
Genius idea. Like it's amazing. Looks gorgeous. So I do that but with beer cans.
That's cool.
I have a picture of that too, so I can maybe send you one here.
I'm gonna be put to work in this episode and be like, and then this.
And if he doesn't, then you'll just see me like.
No, if you don't see anything, like I am sorry, but I'm busy. Like you know what I mean? Like I can only do so much. I'm only so good.
So then beer cans. I mean, I don't drink them because I hate IPA. IPA is just too sour. But my aunt, on the other hand, loves IPAs. So she drinks, I collect.
Tia.
Yes, Thea. The exact same Thea.
That's Thea?
That's Thea.
Okay, that's good to know. Anything else? Any other collections? You got a lot. You got a lot more.
I
things
have
than me. I'm trying to
tons
think
of
if I have anything
collections.
else. I have some baseball cards when I was a kid, but mostly I think I've done a good job of staying more on track with my passions and stuff. What I do is I alternate. Like I'll I'll have basketball for a little bit, and then it'll be the podcast.
Yep.
And then it'll be Pokemon, and then it'll be Marvel. I love Marvel. I know everything about Marvel and the comics and everything. And then I'll go back to basketball. And then I kind of go through that life cycle, video games.
Yeah.
And then I go back through that cycle, just on repeat. So I haven't been able to add a lot of things into it. Like the podcast is probably the most recent addition.
Yeah, there you go. Little baby.
Yeah, my baby. Only like a year and 3 months old. She's doing so nice.
Oh, look at it go.
Do your thing, girl. Do your thing, girl. Latina team.
Latina. Oh, she's Latina too?
Oh, she's Latina. I call her Niña.
Niña?
Yeah. Or hija.
What the hell?
Hija? Hija?
Oh, hija.
Yeah.
I thought you said hija.
Hija? He thought I said hee-haw? I call her hee-haw.
That's why I was like, what the hell? Okay, yeah. But yeah, I think that's all that I collect. It's a lot, but...
There's a lot. That's a lot of stuff.
I love it.
You do have all of those things. I can confirm all of them. No cap. There's no cap. No cap in that.
I have no filter.
That was all real. Wow.
Yes. Now we can move on.
You got a great question.
All right. Do you talk to yourself as if, like, you are your own, like, best friend?
In times of crisis, I guess?
Only in crisis?
If I need advice, the first person I go to is me.
Okay.
And then
But, like, will
try
you, like,
to
just
talk to me.
literally, like, talk out loud and, like, just having a full-blown conversation with yourself, or is this all in your head?
I feel like it mostly comes out in mumbles. It's mumbles. It's like if I do that, then I'll. If I'm kind of like almost calculate in my head. I think a lot of it does go on in my head though, because I feel like I'll be listening to music.
Yeah.
Most of the time, so it's like if I talked over, I wouldn't even be able to hear myself and listen to music. So I might as well just let the conversation happen in my head while noise is going on around me.
Cool. Good to know I'm crazy. Because I talk to myself all the time. I'll be, like, in the car driving. I'm, like, my own best friend. Like, me, myself, and I.
We vibe.
Yes. Yeah, no, basically I'm my own bestie.
Me and my bestie.
Yeah, we chat all the time.
Bestie bitch.
No, I swear, I always have to control myself when I'm like in the office, because I'll be like walking down the halls and I'll just be like talking out loud and like doing like facial expressions, just like how any human does.
Yeah, like
to myself.
In conversation.
Exactly,
yeah,
but to myself. And then some random person will walk in and I'm like, oh my gosh, I look probably crazy, because I don't even have headphones on, so they can't even think that I'm talking to someone. I'm just plain out talking to myself.
Right. I don't think that's insane. You know what I'm noticing though? I think it's just like, you have ADHD.
Yeah.
Like, you full blown have ADHD.
Yeah.
I think I have, maybe I have, because I feel like I have the same symptoms as you, just minor. I don't, like,
Maybe you have ADD.
Is that the same? That's what that is,
Yeah,
right?
the H just stands for, like, hyper. Like, if you're just bouncing all over the walls.
So I think that's kind of what it is. Like, my attention is just poor.
Me too.
Then, but yours is just more like, yours is like that times 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, and I don't think it's crazy. Like, talking to yourself doesn't seem crazy to me.
There's some people that don't have an inner voice. Did you know that?
That's weird to me.
That is weird to me, because, like, I feel like I have, like, 47 window tabs open.
Oh, you know what I heard the other day? It was, some people see words as they're saying them or as they're thinking them, and other people see, like, the scenery. Or, like, see, like, if you're thinking of an apple, do you think of like, an apple, or do you think of
I think of the word.
I think of the apple. Which is weird, though, because you're like an artist. So I feel like you'd think of the fruit, and I'd think of maybe the word, but it's the other way around. How weird. How strange.
I wonder if it has something to do with left side brain versus right side brain.
Maybe. I know another thing is, like, the elephant thing. It's like, oh, you ever been told, hey, don't think of elephants?
Oh, I think of elephants because it's. I mean, I'm being told not to
You know
think
what I
about
mean? Like,
it.
what
So,
the fuck? Like, how am I supposed to not think of an elephant if you tell me not?
Exactly.
Like, you just brought it out.
Or like when people is like, clear your mind.
It's
Oh
like,
my
it couldn't be
gosh.
more full right now.
Yep.
You are
yep.
telling me to clear
like
my mind.
meditations don't work with me because of
That's
that reason.
It's like telling me, hey, empty your glass of water while pouring me more water. That's impossible to do.
Exactly.
Like, stop.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah.
putting thoughts
like,
in my head.
clear your head, get everything out. I'm like.
That's why what really works for me is this is how I describe my ADD. Ready?
Yep.
There's a council in my head.
Yep.
8 guys.
Nice.
About 8 of us, right?
I also have voices. Yes.
They're all like me. They all have different interests, passions, whatever.
Yeah.
And they are very passionate about these things.
Yeah.
So, but what happens is when I hyper focus is they're all locked in on the one thing. They're all
working together.
They're all working together. It's all working. I'm in the zone. I'm in, and
Yeah.
I can focus on one thing, and it's like bliss because I can actually
Mhm.
focus. Typically, though, they're all fighting for like for what's going on, and none of them like to shut up. So they're all just talking.
Do you ever leave like projects unfinished because of that?
Sometimes, yes. So my thing is, what I think. This is why I listen to music. You want to know why I listen to music?
Why?
Music will distract about 4 of them. Like, keeps them distracted.
Okay.
If I'm listening to music and I'm writing at the same time, I can do both. I'm not like some people say you can't multitask and you do one or the other. I can do both very simply. I can do both of those things at the same time, and those will distract. If I doodle and then do that at the same time, those will distract like 6 or 7 of the guys, and then I can just let one dude handle all my issues. And then it feels like I'm basically hyper focusing without all the attention, but at least I'm not being distracted away from other things.
Wow.
I can just focus on one thing at a time with that, while the music and the doodling distracts the rest of it.
Okay.
That's how I try to describe it to people that don't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I literally can't focus on what you're saying right now because homies are bringing shit up that I remembered from 4 days ago.
It's like I don't even know what I had for dinner.
Straight up. I have no idea. My memory's shot. Because the guy that remembered that, he's on break right now. He's doing something else. He's busy.
Go.
So it's just that's what it feels like. It feels like there's just 8 of me in there.
Yeah. And they're constantly fighting for attention.
The goal is to get them all on the same page, which does happen sometimes. Like
that's great that music works for you, because for me, like I just start imagining, like the scenery of the music. Like I can full blown like hear a music, and I could just create like a video production in my head of how I want this music to look like.
I consider that meditating, really. If I focus fully on my music, I consider that my meditation.
Do you create music?
What?
Do you create music?
No. I've tried to like make beats in the past because I thought that'd be something I'd be good at. I'm not that good at it though.
Okay.
So and it's I'm not that I'm not good at it. I didn't have the passion for it like I wish I did. I guess music is another one of those things that I'm really fixated on because I'll go listen to music all day. You know.
Yeah.
I listen to music all day long.
Do you have like ever like a song where like, I don't know if it happens to you, but like for me, like I can't listen to a song on repeat for a long time, or if not, I get sick of that song.
I can't either. Yeah.
Good.
My friends will listen to the same song
for like literally days.
They'll listen
straight.
Well, they'll listen to the same song like
on a loop. Yeah.
I could never listen to the same song twice in a row. I don't think I could do that.
Only if it's like a very favorite song, but like past 2 times, switch.
I've never listened to a song 3 times in a row.
I get sick of songs. There's times where like I have playlists where like I abandon for like months because I just can't stand hearing them. I don't know what it depends on.
I need to make my playlist need to be 60 songs or more.
Yeah.
Or else I can't listen, really.
Yeah.
Like my main playlist that I play is 575 songs, something like that. I just shuffle my like songs, which sounds satanic, but
it's funny that you shuffle because then you just keep on shuffling till you hear a certain one.
Until I hear the ones I want, and then but sometimes you get hit with the one that you wouldn't thought of.
And then you're like,
I have 5,700 liked songs.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
So I just shuffle through them, go, and then 5,000. I never repeat. I rarely hear the same song.
You should do an episode where you talk about these.
I should. And
with 5,000 songs, whew, you got content for life.
And they're all songs I like, and they're all songs I really do enjoy.
Go.
So I was thinking about that, but it's like, when am I gonna have the time to do all this stuff? I want to do so many of these things. Music. I want to talk about basketball. I want to talk about music. I want to do like food reviews. That'd be fun as fuck. I might do that. Coming to Lowell soon.
Do it, yeah.
food reviews.
Yes.
With Michael Palmer,
absolutely.
my friend. You have never met Michael, my friend Michael Palmer.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, dumb sexy. Real sexy human. Anywho, you got any other questions?
Those are the basic ones, yes.
Those are the basic ones? Like, these are kind of basic.
It's
They're
okay.
really
Now
good
they're
questions.
just kind of like weird, fun questions, I guess.
Gang, let's do it. Let's roll.
So, if you could domesticate a wild animal, any wild animal, land, air, water, any kind, what would it be?
I could domesticate any animal.
Anyone, yeah.
Fuck. This is a good question because you have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an answer before I go so I can give you more time to
Bear.
think? A bear.
I would do a bear.
What kind of bear, though? There's a lot of different types of bears.
I would do a black bear.
Aren't they pretty pleasant, actually? Or is that am I wrong?
Yeah, they're
Black bears
pleasant.
are compared to, like, grizzly bears.
Yeah.
Like, even brown bears, I guess.
Even then, it's
Definitely
still...
polar bears. Polar bears are vicious.
Yeah, no.
But you domesticate it, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But
But I'd say, yeah, black bear for sure.
what would just be... Oh, a panda bear, though.
I feel like they're like sort of ish domesticated.
But if I... But, like, I mean, the thing is, like, I would never get a panda, though. There's no world where I'm getting a panda as of right now, because... Yeah. But if I could, like... And just have, like,
a panda. Yeah.
And I could just give it hugs all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. It's, like, the best stuffed animal ever. No,
For
but
me, I chose black bear because it's like, you get that, like, you know, like, there's TikTok videos where she's like, oh, I got to go, like, a girl's like, I get to go out, like, at walks at night because I have my dog.
Yeah.
And it's usually, like, a Doberman or a Rottweiler.
Uh-huh.
Imagine having a bear. No one's going to mess with you.
No one would ever dare.
No one.
Especially if they love you, that bear loves you.
Oh, my gosh,
Like
yeah.
like a mother bear, you know? So here's my thing. I think I'm thinking too much about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to take into account, like, I gotta feed this thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money to feed a bear. You're buying, like, a salmon a day. 2 salmons a day.
All right, take it to a stroll in the woods, let it capture something, and bam.
And bam, you're good. And I want one that will be around for a long time,
Yeah.
too. Honestly, I think because this would be like a one-time massive payment,
Yeah.
but I think I might go like a tortoise, like a big turtle, like a sea turtle.
So,
a
like,
big,
something that's going to overlive you for, like, decades?
I want my kids to have this thing
Oh.
because then like I could buy like the aquarium for it.
Yeah.
It could be our turtle like for generations. My
You
kids,
need a huge...
kids.
I think it'd have to be a little bit bigger than this whole basement.
Probably, yeah. But I think it'd be worth it if I could spend like $30,000 on like
On your sea turtle?
on my sea turtle. And what if I made
Yeah.
like a basement right at my future house? You know, it probably definitely needs to be bigger than this basement, probably.
Yeah.
Whatever my space. But say whatever basement I have in my future house is bigger than this because this isn't that big. And then I made like the walls of it, an enclosure for it.
Yeah.
And then gave it some like land to go on too because they can go out of the water.
Yeah.
That would be so sick. And then, like, forever, my kids can just, like, go see the little turd.
I keep
big
thinking of,
turd.
like, just Minecraft right now.
Oh,
Just
right?
trying to
I
imagine
love
it all.
Minecraft. Love Minecraft.
Me too.
That's
Like, one
good
of my
for
recent builds was literally, like, an aquarium house. Like, so it was, like, glass on both sides, and then in between the walls
Yeah.
were water,
Yep.
and then I added fish, sea turtles, dolphins. It
Yep.
looked like in outside, like, I covered it all with, like, just, like, this black glowy thing.
Yeah.
So you could just see, like, an aquarium inside. It
Hey,
looked
you
really
know,
cool.
we've all spent time on Minecraft. It's the
Different
greatest
stuff.
game ever made.
I agree.
Let's be completely honest with you.
I agree.
Because there's no other game ever that allows you that much
Creativity.
sandbox
Yeah.
creativity.
Exactly.
It's amazing. It's the best game that I think has
Yeah.
ever been made. I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
And I don't think they could make a better game because it is so sandbox.
It
People have
is.
made computers on it.
Yeah, they have.
Like working like computers on it.
Yeah.
Not, like,
No,
good
it's
ones.
incredible the things that people have made. Like, especially, like, they've made songs, too. Like, full-blown
Yeah.
choruses, drums, all that nonsense.
It's amazing what you
Yeah.
can do in
Lots
that
of
game.
programming.
Lots of programming.
Yeah.
And like you're programming within the game, like with like the fire stuff.
Yeah.
Like once you make things able to turn things on and off, like
Oh, yeah.
that gives you a lot of power, even if you realize it or not.
Yeah.
It's a really cool game. Best game ever. Best game ever. Okay. Next question. This is
All right. So, do you watch horror movies?
I do. Not
Okay, cool.
much, but I do.
All right.
I have.
What would be a horror movie that you think you would be able to survive? And what would be a horror movie where you think you'd die instantly? Like
Good
first
questions.
character
These
death.
are very good questions, by the way.
Thank you.
I might need you on my question team.
No problem.
Okay. What is a horror movie I think I'd live and a horror movie I think I'd die? Okay. A horror movie I think I'd live.
Yeah.
Do you have your answer first? Sorry. I think I just need... Because you've thought, you've had time to think about it. Like, I'm thinking about these on the fly. But
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Do you have any answers?
Movie that I'd immediately die in. This is going to sound stupid to so many people, but it's probably going to be Chucky. I hate that doll. I'm terrified of it. Like, I know people could be like, you could just kick that thing across the room.
I'd punt the fuck out of that thing. I would punt it. That's one I'd live in for sure. But
No,
I'm not
I think
even
I'd
gonna
be
count that.
too terrified to move.
Really? That's scary?
Yeah, I can't stand seeing its face.
Really?
Yeah.
Even just thinking about it's freaking you
No,
out.
I can't. It's
can't,
one of those
yeah.
weird fears. I don't know.
No,
Like, I don't know how it
yeah.
developed. Actually, I think I do know how mine happened.
Yeah.
It was like I was walking into like my parents' room, and like this was when they had like those big like glass TVs, and like they were watching Chucky, and like all I see is this hideous doll plastered on the screen, and it just kills someone laughing, and I was like,
You were scared. From that moment on, you were fucked. You know?
so yeah. I think that's where mine started, but that's the one I'd die in.
All
No
right.
questions asked.
I think the one I would die in, probably like Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Okay.
You know?
What's your explanation as to why you die?
Honestly, all those classic ones, I feel like I'd die. Like the classic, like, you know.
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger.
I mean, yeah, that's in your dream.
Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I think those. Freddy Krueger would definitely fuck me up. Freddy Krueger would murder me because I dream a decent amount, and I don't have the control. I think to wake up or not sleep or whatever. I think I just fall asleep, dream, and then he'd just murder me.
Oh.
So for Krueger, I think that they could just chase me down. Like Michael Myers could totally come get me. I don't think I'd be able to do nothing. I'm not smart enough to outthink him.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? Mike Myers, fuck it. I'm beating Mike Myers.
You're beating him.
He walks everywhere.
That's true. He never runs.
So there's no. I could at least walk away from him. At the least.
He can just keep walking.
Because I can just walk. Everyone runs away from him. I'd walk backwards away from him. I'd be like, all right, now what's up? Like, what do you want to do? You're never gonna run. I'm like,
come at me, homie.
I'm like, yo, what's up? So, all right, that's the one I'd live in.
All right.
Halloween, the Halloween series. One I'd die in, other than those ones. Us.
That's a good one.
Savage me would murder me. No question.
You think so?
I don't think I could tune into like.
You don't think you could beat yourself?
No, I think Savage me would be different. I think I just Savage me would be so ridiculous. He'd be because again they're not that smart for sure.
Right.
But there's just that unrelenting like strength, and I think like I'm decently strong.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter because it's even strength, I guess. But if you're like feral, he's like that me would be like a feral state me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. I mean, I'd be in self-defense mode, which is a different type of strength, but it's not. I wouldn't be in that fucking. I'm not like a savage.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think once it came, push came to shove, it's me versus him.
Yeah.
I think he'd just attack and just be relentless and kill me.
Ooh.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Wearing that red jumpsuit and everything.
Yikes.
Like a gangster.
That's a good answer actually for the one you die.
What do you think, dude? I forget what your answers were.
Well,
If
mine
Chucky
for Chucky to die. Another one where I think I'd die is Saw.
Saw.
Yeah. Do you see, like the amount of things?
Yeah.
Actually it depends.
killed
It depends
myself.
on the movies. There's some movies where you can literally just do nothing and you'd be okay. Like most of the things that get triggered are because you move something or you like some people start getting panicky and then boom, timer goes off. If you stayed in your place, that timer's not going anywhere because it's based off of a triggered movement.
Right. I think if there was one Saw where someone had to stand on an ice block and they were being hung,
Yeah.
And, obviously you're hotter than the ice and it slowly melts and then you slowly get hung.
Yeah.
I don't know what this toxic trait in me is that I feel like I couldn't get hung. I just
What
feel
do
like
you
if I was hanging by my neck, I just feel like my chin would take most of the... Like, it would just kind of, like, hold me up by my head.
Do you think your chin is that strong?
I don't know. Maybe.
Take a Chad chin.
Like, I think I could at least breathe. Like, I don't know. Because I think what happens is when they'd hang you back in the day,
Yeah.
like, they drop you through the floor.
Yeah.
What killed you was being, like, it would basically, like, separate. It would go like this. You'd get dropped, and then your body would basically separate. Like, you just die You die instantly. You don't, like...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You don't, like, struggle and choke out.
No.
So I'm wondering, like... Would I really even... If I was really trying not to die... Some people, like, kill themselves, like, hanging themselves.
Yeah.
Which is another thing of, like, obviously you're trying to die. But if I wasn't trying to die, I don't know if I feel like if I was trying to live...
you don't have the decision to live or... I mean, you do have the decision to live or die, but... I mean, somebody else is trying to kill you.
Yeah, but if he's just trying to hang me, like, naturally like that, and I'm slowly hanging, I feel like I'd just be like... I'd be alright.
But the thing with the noose is that the way that it is meant is that when you fall down, it becomes impossible to try to... The way that the knot is, it's just hard. Like, as soon as you go down, like, there's so much pressure onto it that you can't just not do that. I don't know how to explain it. It's...
I just feel like I need to get hung one time real quick, and then maybe I'll believe it. Like, maybe I'll buy it. But until I get hung... I don't know if I can buy it, personally.
All right.
Personally.
Dan's looking to get hung. Anybody
want to hang me? That's kind of fucked up.
Very.
I don't think... It's a little morbid. It's slightly morbid.
It's okay. Just say, it's just a kink thing there.
Oh,
Saved it. Then you wouldn't actually die.
That's not a kink. Don't do that.
Looping it around to Jigsaw or Saw, for me, one of the worst, I think, deaths would have to be the ones that involve the acid. Do you know the acid trap?
I forget.
Either that or the Venus, the Venus one, where like they literally rip off her jaw, not jaw, lungs, her chest.
I think. You know what I think about? The only one I can remember, the only Saw movie I can really think about right now is Spiral, like the recent one that came out.
Oh, the Jigsaw.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh well, have you seen all of them before?
I have, but like, I don't know why I wasn't. I don't even know the story goes. Like I wasn't paying attention. It was more like just something me and my friends would throw on.
Yeah.
And then we talk, and then when she was going, we were like, oh, and then we turn back and be like, all right. Back to basketball, like, whatever.
The bear trap is pretty nasty.
Bear trap, yeah, opened up that was
jaw.
gross. That was gross.
Mm-hmm.
You know these. Do you
by heart.
Movies?
Yeah, I have all of them.
But you think you'd live though?
Depending on the movie. Most of the movies, I think I'd die because, I mean, it requires you to literally either chop off an arm or take out your...
That's the thing. It's a lot of pain endurance that I don't know if I have.
Yeah.
But my issue is, like, I feel like I hate when they would die because they were contemplating it.
Yeah.
I feel like once you make the decision, like they'll have it over, they'll be like, I'm like,
it's like, no, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Don't get halfway through it and be like, well, should I? Like, what the fuck? Go. You gotta go at that point. Like, you gotta do it. It's your life on the line. I wonder how much adrenaline would help you in that scenario. Like, you're literally, say you have to chop off your arm, whatever. Say you were tied to something. I forget, whatever the fuck. So you had to chop off your arm. Like, how much does adrenaline really help you? Is there right places to chop it off so that it feels better?
I don't know. You also have to think of veins, arteries.
Oh, you're fucked up that way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, though.
Hitting all the veins and arteries.
Yeah. Like, I think that all of them are painful. The one thing that isn't painful is this, there's this movie, I forget the movie. It's in the Saw movie collection thing. The guy is trapped in basically a wire cage, and there's just wires going all over the cage, except where he is. Where he is, there's no wires going.
Does it tighten?
Yes and no, but the thing is with the the wires, they have blades on them.
Yeah.
And he has to get to the door before it locks forever. So basically, if he stayed in place, he wouldn't have ended up getting caught.
Okay, but then you die, right?
Not necessarily, because in that movie,
They get
like 2 hours later, the police arrives. So all you gotta do is kind of just hope that someone's going to arrive, and bam.
I don't know if I'd even be able to do that though. How long would you wait before you started doing that? Before you started to try?
I don't
Get
know.
out. Maybe like
It all depends on like
6
how calm
hours?
you are. If you're like panicking, you're gonna cut yourself. You're gonna die like that.
I'd like to think I'm pretty calm in general.
But
I
you
don't
never know when
that
you're in a
scenario.
situation. It's like yeah.
Right. I don't know. If that's the thing. Like, you don't know what you're like until you're in that situation.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a fight or flight type of moment where you got to find out who you were, kind of?
I need an example.
Like, say, like, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Something happened recently. So, I was sitting in a room with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was at the sink. 4 of us kind of sprayed around the room. I was sitting in a chair on like the opposite side of the room from the sink. And my friend that was by the sink was taking a bite of something. And for like a hot second, was like...
Choking on it?
Instantly.
Ooh.
I run up. I don't even like remember it. I started running up and like went over to grab him, and he figured himself out. He was like, that was close, bro.
Wow.
And I was like, already like right behind him, like ready to like whatever the fuck thought I was gonna do behind him. Like I don't know, maybe the Heimlich, but I don't even know how to do that. And all my other friends were like stuck. And I was thinking like, so that's that for them. It was like, I guess it's fight or flight, or then there's one more too. I guess like freeze. They all froze, and I guess I was like fight, like I was like instantly like acting. Whereas some people would even like, maybe not run away in that scenario. You wouldn't run away because of what the fuck you're gonna run from.
Yeah.
But like I guess like in confrontation too, like in a fight or whatever the hell. Like, do you know? Have you ever had something like that happen to you?
I don't remember, honestly. I'm sure I'm definitely the type to react versus stay still.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm not the type to freeze. I definitely, I don't know. Next thing you know, I react to it.
You feel present in those moments. Like
Yeah.
You still feel like you can move. Some people like literally like get like.
Yeah, no.
Like they're like, I don't know what to do.
I mean, I get, okay, well, this was when I was little, so I guess, I don't know how that's going to be seen, but when I was little, me and my friends and my brother, we were outside in my backyard. We were just playing around. We came back from the zoo that day. It was a fun day, and out of nowhere, one of my friends says, oh, look, a groundhog, and, like, we're like, oh, where? And then out of nowhere, this groundhog starts chasing us. I swear, it's gone feral. This groundhog starts chasing us. And, like, it went for me first. And, like, I jumped. And, like, I jumped. And I, like... No, I jumped in circles.
She jumped. She did a backflip. And then landed. And then looked at the groundhog. The groundhog was like...
No.
You tackled the groundhog, put it in a chokehold, and you're like, sleep. Sleep.
Or like in that scene where Wanda appears for the first time and like Iron Man's trying to beat the Hulk to like get him out of the...
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
Oh yeah. So it was chasing me, and then I opened the door, and I'm the first one to open the door, and then I could have just ran for my life, but I just stayed there because I knew my brother was still out there, and he was like 5 at the time.
How old were you?
Yeah, I think I was 10, 11,
10.
yeah, around there. So then everybody goes in, vroom, vroom. You know, like in cartoons when they like zoom off of the camera. That's kind of how everybody was running. And then I saw my brother, and he was like the last one there. And the groundhog, he was luckily out of all of us, he was wearing loose pants. Everybody else was wearing like skin tight like pants. But I couldn't really notice that it was like a loose type of pants. The next thing I see is that this thing latches on to my brother's pants. And so like I thought that my brother was a goner. Yeah, exactly. So I ran inside. It's the thought that counts. I ran inside.
He's dead!
I ran inside. My mom was in the bathroom while this was all happening. And
the hawk got him!
And all she hears she's like, it bit Andre. Like, Andre's my brother's name.
Andre?
And then she's like, what happened? Because we were all screaming. And, like, it's funny, though, because, like,
it's funny because he didn't die.
We all ran to different doors. My friend went to that door.
Yeah.
Like, my other friend went to my parents' room.
The groundhog went downstairs.
And so then my mom enters out of the bathroom because she thought that we were just playing at first. But she's like, you know, like that when you sense there's something weird. And so then from, like, in my room, I'm like, I have the door, like, closed. I was like, I keep screaming, the groundhog bit Andre. And so then the next thing she sees is my 5-year-old brother, like, dragging his leg because the groundhog is still attached to his pants. And so then Andre was, like, crying because he obviously has a groundhog. I'm sorry. And so then she, you know, like that moment where, like, a million things come to your mind in, like, a split second.
Yep.
So then she picks up my brother and starts flying him across the room to see if the groundhog is, like, flies out. But it didn't. It stayed there. It was like it had its grippers on. And so then she starts picking up my brother again and starts slamming him into the chairs to see if the groundhog would budge. And it did. It finally let go. It flew out, and then it standed on its 2 legs and just hissed at my mom. It's like, and so then my mom pushed Andre, and then she's like, got her, like, run. So then we open the door, and then the groundhog is chasing my mom. So now she's, like, running across the living room, dining room, to get away from it. And then she manages to get into one of my brother's room and closes the door. She didn't even have the phone with her because she left it in the kitchen. So then we were like, what the hell? What are we going to do? This groundhog is stuck there. She's, like, screaming, like, check Andre, like, check to see any bite marks. And, like, that's when we found out that he wasn't bit. It was just the pants. So we're like, no, he's okay. And when you're a little kid, you think the worst of every situation. So, like, literally it was just me, like, pushing the door closed.
It's going to be like...
As if the whole tiny groundhog is going to be able to budge through the door. But I was, like, holding it with my life.
It's like, oh my God.
It's like my life depended on it.
Hold on.
Yeah. And so then my mom, the only thing she had available, because, like, she didn't have anything to her resources, not even a phone, except a couple of, like, Nerf gun and swords that my brother has, like, plastic swords. So then my mom grabs one of my brother's, like, lightsaber swords. And then she opens it, and then the groundhog isn't there. We're like, okay. So then she walks out and grabs her phone. And then 2 of my other friends are outside, and they're, like, coming to visit me. And then they're, like, literally about to arrive on my, like, the front door. And then my friend's cousin's like, oh, look, a groundhog. And she's going to take a picture of it. As she takes the picture, the groundhog hisses at them and starts chasing them.
Wow, this groundhog was on a beam.
Yeah. And then, so, like, my doorsteps had, like, this, like, red, like, fence thing. I don't know how to explain. It's like a barrier thing.
Okay.
I don't know, part of the structure. So then they jumped off of there, and the girl, luckily, who got bit, it was just the pants that got bit because she had loose pants.
Jesus
lucky as hell. So she grabs the door and it starts slamming her leg to get the groundhog off. And then my mom, like, was in the kitchen, or dining room at that time, seeing all of that happen. So the groundhog flies back inside the dining room and starts chasing my mom again. So then we all lock ourselves into my room, and then we just wait for a while and call animal control. And so then we're like, all right, like, we have to, like, I don't know, like, where the animal is. We finally got one of my friends who locked themselves in my parents' room to join us. And so then after, like, 10 minutes where the animal service people saying, oh, we're on our way, blah, 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 just stay in your place, we opened the door to see, like, where the hell the animal went. And so, like, my mom kind of walked around. And I also walked around to see where it was, and then I saw it in my mom's room. It was, like, in a little blanket. It was just, like, sleeping there. And, like, I ran and I, like, closed the door, so basically locking it inside of my parents' room. And then we all left outside until, like, the police people came there. And, yeah, later that night they had to, like, kill it because it was too, like...
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it had rabies or anything, but...
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
So fight or flight. No,
yes, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that counts. I mean,
that was the craziest story I've ever heard in my life.
Yep.
That was something that, like, would happen in a Disney Channel show, and I wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, that's so unrealistic.
Nope,
That
it
would
happened
never
in real
happen
life.
in real life, ever.
It happened in real life.
I mean, there was way too much detail for it to not have happened. Yeah. You knew everything. That is so...
It was
insane.
traumatizing. Ever since then, we just...
You don't fuck with groundhogs? We have one.
Groundhog?
And not like in the house, obviously.
Okay.
It's like in the backyard. It's like it just kind of like...
don't mess with it.
It roams.
Don't mess with it.
Nah, we leave it alone.
Good.
His name is Peter.
Nice.
He's nice. He's pretty chill.
Nice.
I chased him one time. Not chased him. He was like they run weird. There's they like flop around. So like, he flopped his way like past me. I was sitting in the backyard and just like running this way, and I saw him go up to our front porch, and I ran behind it, and I think it went under the porch. I don't think it lives in there because its tail was kind of sticking out, and like there's just not a lot of room in there. I think it was just looking for a place to hide from me.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, it was like I saw like the little end of its tail, and I was like, yo, like. It's kind of like, imagine if I was trying to hide, and I went like this.
This is how I feel like that I look like right now, like to you. I probably you just see me, like, no, not me, this. Because I'm so short.
I can see you pretty good. Usually I can only see, like, from, like, the nose up from people. It's like...
To the camera point of view, they're just seeing two weirdos just, like, lowering their head.
No, yeah. If someone has their volume off right now and is just watching the video...
Like I said, we're making this now an ASMR channel. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. So, I'm Daniel, and this is...
My name's Alex Pace. Nice to meet you guys.
This is ASMR with A and D.
Yeah.
And... Oh, fuck. Mine's not as good as yours. Maybe like mine.
Hope you enjoyed that.
That was crazy. Honestly, Alex, I think we're about like an hour and 6-7 minutes in.
Wow.
And I feel like if we started another conversation, it would go for another 30 minutes. And once I'm over an hour, I'm
for part 2.
Like for part 2, subscribe for part 3. I just feel like if we went too far, Jesus. If we went too far, we'd go too far. But as long as I get over the hour, I'm usually very happy with what happened.
Yeah.
What was your... So we'll wrap up pretty much around here. What was your experience like on the DOD-Cast?
On the DOD-Cast, I mean...
What was this like for you?
Oh, super chill. I'm not nervous at all. I mean,
super chill.
Super chill.
Latina thing.
Latina
Yo,
thing.
shout out Carla real quick.
Yeah.
And Tia.
You gotta invite her. Carla.
She's gonna do it, you know?
Yes.
She's like gonna do it. She wants to do it really badly.
Good.
But for her, I may have to bring the setup upstairs. For you guys, it's like y'all can stuff her. Y'all college students, y'all get it. But like she's like a grown ass adult. Like
she's gonna be like, "Why is Dan taking me to a creepy basement?"
Down the basement smells a little bit. I don't like it. It's not Sweden or nothing, but she's in Sweden this week, right?
Yep, she is.
But yeah, so you enjoyed yourself?
I did. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
It's exactly what I knew it was gonna be. I knew you'd do a good job. Honestly, you've given me some good ideas. Maybe I should write down like 5 questions.
Yeah.
Before.
Just to go off of
Just
if you have
something to
nothing
go
really
off of
to.
when I need to get to the next thing.
Absolutely.
Hey, you know, you learn something new every day. Alex,
Dan,
this was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
You stopped work on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it's my last day. # sad.
Heart breaks when I hear that news. But yeah.
Dan's gonna be the only intern left.
Only Internet Access Communications, baby.
Yep.
Last 4 podcasts, all Access, all day.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of. I feel like I feel like one of the marketing plans that I've worked on, like we'll be like, all right, for this month we're doing education. That's kind of like me. All right, for this month I'm working on my interns, and then when I go back to UMass Lowell
To body
students
worn
after.
solutions.
To body worn. And low key, what I did, this is kind of genius because you're gonna be the segue, and you're not only Access Communications, you're also UML student.
That's true.
So you're a little bit of both. You're both.
There you go. Starting back at school.
And then the next week I'll get more school people.
Bam.
Bam.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Boom. All right, Alex, this was great. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you, Dan.